Hello, my name is Kate Marshall, and this is Inked Paper Art. And today is day 87 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. I know it has been a while. I appreciate you guys being patient with me while I've been dealing with the family issues. So, guess what, guys? We're going to make a project today. I pulled out some, I'm not going to call them vintage, but definitely older scrapbooking type pockets and envelopes and things like that. Maybe you guys have something similar in your craft room, but we are going to make a project using some of these today, plus some Tim Holtz cardstock. So I'm going to go over all the different ways that you guys can make whatever I'm making here. Basically, it's going to be a tuck with a little flip on top of the tuck. So like a tuck pocket. And we're looking for pieces of cardstock that are single-sided or double-sided. It doesn't matter for this project. But any type of cardstock, even a scrap like one of these would work. And then we're just going to make this into a tuck with a flap over the top. So as I look through this, we just need to find some that we like. Any of these will work. They're really quite nice because you're going to get writing space and pockets. So I'm just trying to match to color. I think this combination will work. So let's go ahead and use these scraps here. I'll move that off the side. These papers are actually $49 in market. It's called Curator's Meadow. I know it is a retired collection, but I just have them left over. So let's go ahead and pull some of these. Looks like I've got a number of the same size pieces, and let's cut them down and get them made into a tuck. So basically, our pages in this journal vary in size. The cover is 10 by 13. Most of the pages are about 8.5 by 11 folded in half, which would be 5.5 by 8.5. So I just want to make sure that my tuck fits on an 8.5-inch tall page and is not wider than about 5 or so inches. So let's go ahead and cut out a panel of this here and see what we get. Let's take this branding strip off the bottom. I have missed you guys so very much. I will be live. I'm planning on being live tomorrow night, Tuesday, and just, chatting with you guys and catching up and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I will also be live on Friday for the craft with me. Okay, so let's cut this to 8.5. Well, not 8.5. Let's cut this to fit on an 8.5-inch page. So if we go from the bottom, let's go about 7 inches. I think a 7-inch tuck will be fine. So let's go there, 7 inches. I mean, we could even use this piece. I mean, this corner's bent, but you could even use this piece as the tuck too. It doesn't really matter as long as it fits on your journal page. So I did 7 that way. And then let's go ahead and catch this. I don't know, somewhere. We need about 5 or less. Anything between 4 and 5, I think I would be happy with. I just want my envelope, because I'm going to use these green envelopes. So whatever you're making your flip out of, you just want to make sure that your flip is going to fit on your base. And so if I put that on there, it tells me I at least need this much, which is 4.5. So let's go ahead and cut it 4.5 this way. I think I like this side better. I'm actually going to go 4 3/4. Give myself a little bit more of the pattern. So we're going to do a tuck that looks like this, and it's going to have several little flippy things, or I might just do one pocket. I'm not sure yet, but we'll play with it. So for that one, let's keep working. We need to make this a tuck. So you don't have to snip the corner, but I like to snip the corner. And it's the left corner, and you can cut it at whatever angle you want to cut it at. I'm just going to go like that. If you didn't want to cut it, it's totally fine. It doesn't really matter. It's just making it look more like a tuck. And then I will show you how this will go on a page too, because I know at this point it's just cardstock. And it's probably a little, some of you guys will know exactly what I'm doing. And some of the newer people, maybe it's a little harder to follow until I show you at the end of the video how it goes on a page. So we're inking, getting everything inked up. And then we're going to move to the next step, which is the tuck little pocket. So this is a tuck. It's going to go on a page. If this was your journal page, this is a regular sheet of paper folded in half. The tuck part is going to go on your page like this. And so you're going to glue the tuck down here and across here. And then you're going to have a tuck to put a piece of ephemera back in this part. It's making a pocket on a page, but we're not done. We don't want to just leave it as a tuck. We want to add a little flip or something else to it. So if you take an envelope, it's very easy to take whatever envelope you want to use and just put that behind it. You're going to seal your flap on the back side like that. And then you're going to glue it on the same way I showed you, and you're going to have this little flip out. But I don't want to leave this just a plain envelope. I want to do a little more to it. So you would normally have this, if I can hold it, you would normally have this situation. I want to do something a little different. You could use this side as writing space and fold this and put it on to where this part was the front by making this go backwards. You could have it like this, right? Like this. You would decorate here. You would have a journal card sticking in here or a tag or whatever. And then it would flip open to this and you would have writing space here, or you could even add additional pockets if you wish. Let's go ahead and think about using it like this on this one. And let's go ahead and work on getting some decorating going, and maybe we'll use an offcut of this paper for the journal card. So first things first is we need to ink this guy, because once we stick him on and glue him, it's probably a little harder to ink it. And because this is such a, darker olive green, it really needs a little extra ink. And so I'm going to ink everything. I'm going to ink all the way around this part and the back part, because it is where we're going to use journaling space on the back. I don't think I'm going to add a pocket on the back. I think we just need journaling space back there. And then I want to ink the inside of this. Now, if you don't have an envelope that is the right size, you could certainly cut one down, or if you have an envelope punch board, or you just want to make a handmade envelope, you could certainly do that. And you could make it just out of colored paper. If you're trying to match what I have here, just find a piece of colored paper and make a basic envelope shape. That's all this is. And you've got an envelope that will fit on your tuck. So there's that. I inked around the flap, but it's such green, dark green. It's hard to see the inking even. But you've got it inked. Okay, good. A little more inking there. And let's ink this quick, and then we'll be good to go. I might need to re-ink my ink pad. I haven't crafted in 8 days or so. I don't know. It's been a while. I've been at my dad's house doing all of the things you guys know I've been doing. Which, it's over now and it's done, and that's about that. And I'm happy that it is over. It's just a lot of work, and it's good. It's good that it's done. Okay, moving along, we're going to have this situation, and it's going to go like that. Let's get this flap glued down so that I can quit messing with it. And so if this was going to be a flip out or some other way, you would construct it differently. For us, we're just gluing it down. But because this is a tuck in the back, you want to make sure that you glue all the way to the edge of your flap so that it doesn't get caught. So when you tuck a journal card back there, it's not getting caught on this little envelope flap. So make sure that you're really precise with your gluing and get that all the way glued down. Even my glue's tired. Okay. And remember, I did glue my envelope backwards on purpose. There we go. I wanted to make sure that it didn't stick over the point here where we cut, so my envelope isn't sticking up here. And I tried to leave as much of that bottom showing as I could, because I wanted a little decoration down there, really. Let's decorate this part, and let's make the journal card that goes in there. So the journal card that goes in there can be an offcut, but I do have these other additional, this is like tiny little pockets and envelopes. I don't know what it says, but like a little policy closure. This is a little paper bag, and I really like these little paper bags and wanted to use them, but they will not fit right here. This guy will not fit right there either, which he's super cute. He's a little pocket set. Very cute. Anyway, raid your stash of whatever you have for vintage scrapbooking things, or you might find something like this on the internet. But I was hoping that paper bag was going to fit right there, and we could just put another pocket here. That's that little paper bag. I think I have a glassine bag that will go here, and we can put a tag down in that. And it's going to decorate this little front panel right here. So from here to here, we'll put a little glassine bag and a tag. So let me grab that little glassine bag. Okay, so I found the little glassine bag, and this size glassine bag may or may not be in your kit. I think I gave you guys a bigger one. This one is a 3-inch by 5 3/4 inch glassine bag. And I also found this tag. I think you guys did get this tag in your kit, and the tag is actually going to fit down inside of here. So we can decorate both of these and put these on, and then there will also be a journal card here. So you're getting a whole big bunch of writing space and ephemera built into one little piece. Let's go ahead and glue this glassine bag on. Now it's just slightly going to overhang on this side, and I think that's okay unless I make it flush and make it overhang on this side. I think it's okay to overhang it on that side, so we're just going to do it. And it's going to cover this entire piece here. The only thing is this tag. This tag is shorter than the bag. So I want it to stick out. And the only thing that, the only way to really make it stick out is to make our bag shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and fold up. I'm going to fold up about 1/2 inch at the bottom. And I'm going to glue that down. And the way I'm gluing it is so that it stays down all the way, because I don't want it to interfere with any pocket or tuck or whatever we stick back here. So there's that. And I just shortened my bag by about 1/2 inch. That was the point of that. And I will re-ink the little bottom here, just so that the tag sticks up nicely on it. Re-ink. There we go. Pretty good. Nice. Let's glue this down. So I'm going to glue it at the bottom all the way. I'm going to glue up the side. And I'm going to glue this side. Now you could have made a pocket on the side or something like that, and that probably would have been smart, but I didn't. And we're going to glue it flush down. You could have made a pocket on the back. You could have made another pocket many different ways on this bag. I think it would have been nice to have a pocket coming, when you put your bag on, a pocket coming this way with another little tabbed journal card in there, but we glued it. And so I'm just going to glue it to where it overhangs right here on the pocket side, and we're straight. Good. There we go. And that's down. Our little tag goes in there. And now the tag will stick out the top. Before, the bag would have covered the entire space, and the tag was too short, and it would have went all the way down in. So we're good there. We just get to decorate now. Super fun. And I do have a couple little pieces here. This little Tim Holtz flower I have been trying to find a home with, and the color greens look pretty good together. So it's really just a piece of like a layers ephemera. It might be from Organic Layers, or it may have been the old botanical pack. I don't know. But it's been laying around here, and I've been trying to find a home for it. So we're going to use it today. Put that on there. I can see it looks like, yep, there's a little punch out. I think that's the only one. Okay. That can go there. And then we need to go in our little bin of, quick ephemera bits to find something else to layer here, like a label or a ticket or something. I mean, it kind of adds a little something, and then maybe one across the bottom. We want handle with care across the bottom. I like the black because this piece back here does have quite a bit of black in it. So I think we'll go with that. That is fine. We can also decorate up that tag if we have time. Let's get this done. And so these will go in the botanical journals I've been working on. I'm anxious to get back working on them. It has been very, very difficult for me not to craft for a week straight. I have not done that in a long time, where I've been away from crafting. It's been very hard. And so, now we get back into the swing of things. It's just like, it's no different. I've been gone for 8 days, and it's no different than coming home from like a long vacation where you have laundry to do, and I wasn't here, but my son was here. So there's dishes and laundry and all the things that need done, and catching up on opening all your mail, and I don't know what else. everything that you normally do when you come home from a long trip. So slowly I'll get caught up on emails and comments and all of that kind of stuff. And I will be here tomorrow. I'm planning on anyway, be here tomorrow live at, let's do 6 p.m. Eastern time, live on my channel. And I'll do some crafting or some chatting or both or something like that. And we'll hang out and we'll catch up more. I won't do a live sale tomorrow just because, we already have a super sale that needs processed. So if you're waiting for invoice for super sale, I did put out many videos letting you guys know that they would be coming at the end of this week or beginning of next week. But I'll hang out with you guys tomorrow and catch up more. So there's that. Our flowers aren't just floating. Awesome. And then this flips open and it's writing space back here, which is nice. You could add something here if you wanted. I might come in and do a little collage here. It just looks like maybe it needs a little collage right there. That's good. That's good. We still have a pocket back here to add something. And like I said, you could have made a pocket behind that glassine bag. I regret not doing it. But anyway, let's decorate our tag and maybe think about a journal card if we have a few minutes. Quick decorations for this tag. I love this little bird, and I would love to use the little bird. He needs to stand on something. I mean, he could just stand on that. That would be fine. It's just not, it's not great, but it's fine. Let's see if I can find him something better to stand on. Maybe he could stand on this little public school thing. Maybe he could stand on that. Just for quickness, he might have to. And then I found a little, I don't know if we want to continue to layer. Let's see what we can do. Now the back of this tag, I did ink around it and it will be writing space. Maybe something like that, up a little higher. Let's play with that. And I also had these red postage stamps or red labels. There was that one we looked at, and these. Let's pull these and see what we can do. He needs inked. And then quickly. So does this. And I'll make 3 of these, one for each journal. I won't be able to do it right in this setting because I have appointments all day today also. But when I get home, I will do another video, so I'll be catching up on videos as well. I will do 2 videos every day this week and catch up on videos for the 365 series. And eventually we'll be all caught up on everything and back to normal, which I'm very much looking forward to, as are you guys. Thank you guys for your patience and all of your support and your well wishes with what I was doing and all of that kind of stuff. You guys are the best group ever, and I very much appreciate you. And we've got this guy. And again, this could have been made into a little pocket or something, but there is while there is a way of adding a bunch of pockets, sometimes unnecessary pockets, it just gets to be where everything has a million pockets. And at that point, you got to ask yourself, do you really want to make all of that little ephemera to fill all of those little pockets? And sometimes the answer is we just don't need it. Sometimes they're just unnecessary. And I love pockets as much as the next guy, but unnecessary pockets, A, it's unnecessary work, and B, it's also a little overwhelming to the person who buys the journal that there are so many different little hiding places and whatever. Like, most people like that, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it can be overwhelming, can be overload. So I'm not going to add a bunch of unnecessary, but we'll add where we can. Where it makes sense, I guess, use common sense. If it makes sense to add a pocket there, go for it. On this one, it's just, I don't know if I want this or a postage stamp. I guess we're going with the label. On this one, we're already adding enough pockets on this. I don't think we need 10 pockets, but we're good. We'll see if I can not do it on the other ones. The little side pocket back here. We'll see if I can resist the urge. I'm trying to talk myself into it. So there's that guy. He goes in there. And so let's cut a journal card quick. We have this piece. I don't know if we want that for a journal card. I mean, I think we do. So let's just cut it. We need it about there. I'm just going to use same, which some people, some people wouldn't do that, but I am. It's the same cardstock that we used for this flip back here, but I think it's okay because we're going to decorate over the top of this. Let me see how this guy fits in here. He doesn't fit, but I cut him to exactly the same size as the pocket. Let's try that again. He also might be not wide enough to stick out of the pocket, but it was here, so I figured I would try it. So if he goes in here, yeah, he's not really wide enough. Let's use a different piece of cardstock. This was just the offcut. Let's use a different piece so that we can get something that sticks way over here. Maybe even with a little tab here, and that will make me happier because I'll have a tab. But let's cut something wider. Let's see what we have. We're going to need something that is about 4 1/4 would fill up that pocket, that envelope. So what do we have that can be cut to 4 1/4? This guy can. See, where do we go if we're here? 4 1/4 is good on this. Let's try this. At the end of the day, one of them will work. If not, I'll just make something else out of it. Okay, so there's 4 1/4, and that fits much better in there, much better. And you get these black postage stamps with this. That worked out. That was happy. Good. Perfect. Okay, for the little journal card, I do want a tab on it. I need to find some Tim Holtz paper to cut a tab for right there. And we have this nice open space with all this handwriting behind it. It is the perfect place for a focal point. The only question is, what focal point do we want to put there? A mushroom would be nice because we already have florals going on, both back here, florals, and here. So a mushroom would be good. Let's see if we have a large mushroom. I also have birds, but I don't think these birds, they're too big. I've been trying to find a home for them too. They're not ginormous, like they will fit on there, but I think we can do better with a mushroom. Let me grab a mushroom quick. We're going to go over on time, which I know you guys are good with, so I will not stress either. But let's find a mushroom. Mushroom. And I need a larger size mushroom to fill up some of that space. So here's some. And I think this red one, that red one might look nice on there. Let's see about that. I'm looking at 2 different ones here, so either this guy or this guy. So we'll fussy cut these quick. So this one, I think he's going to be just about perfect. Honestly, he fills it up nicely. This guy might be a little too small. So let's do this one. That's all good. So this is the Mushroom Digital. That's in Etsy. I know you guys know about it, but some people don't. So I say it again. This is in my Etsy. My Etsy is linked in the description box, as are all of my other links. And we'll get it. See, I've been away from crafting for a week. My hands are like, what are you doing? They don't know to fussy cut now. That's funny. It'll be a little bit of a muscle memory thing for a little bit. Oh gosh. I don't take vacation, so it's a little jarring to the system to fussy cut. Fussy cutting is not my favorite activity. I think I've talked about this before in a video, that I do not really enjoy the act of fussy cutting. Like, I know some people, they love it. It is relaxing to them. It is not really relaxing to me because I am a little, I have a tendency to be a little OCD, as I know many people are, right? Especially when it comes to fussy cutting. And so for me, it's more of a, trying to get it right, whatever. But and I have told you guys before, don't worry about it. Inking covers everything. And at the end of the day, it's your fussy cut is usually, your focal point or something that's part of something. It's an element. It's not the whole total piece, the total sum. It's an element. And most people, when they look at whatever you made, they're not going to sit there and say, oh, there's a little white right there. They're not. So don't stress about it. I'll say that, even though I just told you I stress about it even. After all this time and all these fussy cuts, you still stress about it. But anyway, it's not really relaxing for me. I don't find it enjoyable, but it's just kind of a necessary thing, because how else are you going to get the focal points that you want without individually fussy cutting all these little leaves and all that kind of stuff? There's not really another way. So you've got to fussy cut or use complete, Tim Holtz things or pre-cut digital things or whatever. Maybe you get a scan and cut and use that. That might work. But anyway, I don't enjoy it. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't enjoy it. It's just not relaxing to me. And it's not something where I go, ooh, I want to sit down and fussy cut. I mean, sometimes I guess if there's nothing else to do and you just want to craft something. But anyway, I'm going to ink around all of my little white edges just to make sure that, inking really does blend them in. And all of this around these leaves, I didn't stress about making sure that all the white was off of there. In fact, I just left a little bit of white here, there, and everywhere. And I'm just going to ink over top of that to blend it into my base. That way it's not that bright white, shining in your face kind of a look. And so you don't have to worry about cutting around all the little leaves. We'll get down in here next to the mushroom. And we ended up with something that looks pretty well fussy cut without having to stress about it. Okay, so there we go. We're going to glue this guy on, and normally I would use the glue stick, but for time we're just going to quickly go around here, getting the points that would come up. Maybe I should have just quickly used the glue stick. All right, there we go. We did it. Yeah, that may not have been quicker, but it was easier, I guess. Less glue on my fingers. I didn't put anything back behind here because I feel like there is already plenty on this scrapbook paper from 49 and Market. That needs to stay down. That needs to stay down. And we're good. As long as those points stick, we're good. And we need a little label right here, or something that looks like a little label. There's a little brown stamp, but we already have stamps here. Let's take this little graph paper, and I've been using this a lot in place of a label. And the reason why is because I don't really have a lot of nature-y labels, and you don't need a label that says something. You could stamp or stencil on this or whatever, and in fact we may do that. But for us right now, we just need a label shape to fill in this area down here. That might be a little big. We might be able to tear some of this off. We're going to ink our edges just to make sure it looks old. Definitely going over on my time today. I figured you guys wouldn't complain. Some will, but that's okay. It's been a week. I don't want to give up my crafting either. So there's our little label shape. In fact, I don't even like it that much. It's too big. We're gonna take some more off. Yep, we're gonna take some more off of there. It was just a little too heavy for me. That's better. Okay, still a little heavy right here. And there's our little label shape, finally. For whatever reason, it's not sticking either. Better, much better. And now we just need a little stenciled number right there. And for that, I'm just going to use the ledger stencil and the black ink. It's not black, it's scorched timber. Scorched timber, I'm not even going to load it onto my little brush. I try to get that just roughly on there and get that stenciled. And there we go. So there's the little journal card. We'll add a tab on top of it on the side and get all my stuff put away. And then we're going to ink around it and stick it in the pocket. So I guess I don't really need to show you the tab part, but there's going to be a tab right here. We'll ink around the whole thing. It will go in this little pocket right here. Now for the back, I think you can journal on it. This little corner keeps getting bent, so I may have to stick some coffee dyed paper back there just so that it doesn't continue to bend. But there will be a little tab right here. It doesn't stick out too terribly much, just to help you get this in and out. And then you've got your tag here. You've got your flip journal space. This is pretty nice. Like, it has a little pattern on it, the little green. So I'm going to leave that. And there's that. And then you can have like little paper charms even coming down here from your strings. And then this whole entire thing is going to get glued to a journal page like this. You're going to glue down this side and down the bottom. And that whole entire piece is going to be a tuck for a tag. I don't really have a tag handy, but a tuck back here for tag, pocket, not pocket, journal card or tag. Yep, still tired. Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye.